Finally sat down on the plane to Qatar. It's a 45-minute flight time, so it's not long. I'm not really a fan of connecting flights, but I wanted to try out Qsuite. And this is crazy. It's definitely double the size of Emirates and British Airways. Maybe not Emirates actually. Actually, yeah, it is business. It's double the size of Emirates business and British Airways business. Virgin business, I feel like, is ridiculous now. You just see everyone's head and feet poking above your head. Whereas I've got a whole cabin here, like a private suite cabin in business, not even first. This is a vibe. I feel like I might just have to fly indirect home and here for this. Let's see how I feel. Yeah.
You want to have a coffee or
I'm okay, thank you. That was the quickest flight ever. We basically took off, had a snack, and now we're landing in Qatar. We've got an hour and 40 minutes in the airport. I hope there's enough time to kind of explore. I kind of wish I had a bit longer now. But yeah, I'm going to try and check out the gardens that are inside the airport and then jump on the flight to Heathrow. I feel like I'm going on holiday, even though I'm going home, which is kind of weird, but cool. This is what I do. I just talk extra and then edit. I'll probably use 10 seconds of my talking. My wife's looking at me like, what's this guy doing? Why has the camera gone sideways? Wow, the plane's obviously turning. Because the plane's turning, camera's turning. Alright, we're landing in London. The flight was alright. Got about an hour or two sleep. Finding it pretty weird that it's like daylight outside, even though it's 7:45 in the evening. I think I forgot how long the days were here, but I'm glad to be back. I'm shattered. Definitely feels like it's 11 p.m. or whatever time it is back home. Well, Dubai, that's how. Easily the biggest business class I've ever flown in. So much space, definitely comfortable. Double bed was sick. And the food was great actually, as was the service. So yeah, maybe I'll be doing Qatar a lot more. England! Oh, Pakistan. Pretty crazy because I'm here at my mum's house and I'm in the attic. And I don't think I've been here working since I was 15, 16, maybe even 19 actually, 20. But a long time, like 10 plus years. And I was sat here grinding away, making websites, doing logos, making flyers, starting the music business. And I'm back here. And now I've got a family, I live in Dubai. But I'm still doing the same thing. Like I've got my laptop open and I'm using the same apps. Yeah, there's Notion and there's systems and there's structure and there's a bit of other bits and bobs, but I'm pretty much doing the same thing at my laptop, just grinding away, and it's pretty mad how long it's been and how far I've come. And yeah, this was my bedroom at one point, it was the office at one point, and I'm just about to do some calls. I'm doing some interviews to find an executive assistant, a remote executive assistant, which I've never done before. I've had physical ones, but I'm trying out this website called Shepherd that helps you find talent in the Philippines. So yeah, just thought I'd film a little segment because I'm feeling, what's the word, serendipitous, nostalgic, emotional, maybe. I also slept last night in my old bedroom, which was weird. But yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been 10 years. And I think if I had a message to young people out there that are hustling, like it's hard and it's tough, but it will work if you stick to it. And then you look back and you're like, wow, how has it been this long? Like it feels like it just went by like that. There was a night where I had to finish a brochure design and it was probably 3 or 4 a.m. I had to deliver it by the next morning, and then the next day I had a talk at school at 7 a.m. and I finished it, went to sleep, woke up, went to the school, did a quick presentation. Presentation was bad, but it's because I did it in an hour and I was so tired. But I think I actually wrote a diary entry, I'll try and find it, where I was like, these are the moments when it matters. Like if you can push in these moments when you've had enough and you want to quit and you're wondering what the hell you're doing, that's when it matters. And then I've also got photos of me like crying, sat here, like mum wants me to get a job, she's had enough of what I do, is this even going to work? You know, you're 21 and you haven't become a millionaire yet, all of these crazy things. And now I'm 31 and I feel young. I feel like I've got so much time to do so much stuff, but when I was young I was in a hurry, I was in a rush. I don't know why. So I guess my advice to other young people is don't be in a rush, don't be in a hurry. Just make sure you're doing stuff. Keep yourself busy, learn as many skills as you can. I would say it's a lot easier now than it was then. There's so many gurus and courses and YouTube videos, and you know, there's loads of games you can play now with the internet and with computers. Just pick a game and stick to it and it will work. You just have to pick the one that you want to do. But yeah, I've got this call in 15 minutes, so I'm just going to do some notes and stuff. And maybe I'll do some more videos in a bit. I'm struggling to edit this video, and it's been 11 days now since my last upload. So I've missed the weekly uploads. But I feel like I have got more footage than I thought I'd have, and obviously I've got the footage from travelling here. So I'm trying to knock out this video today and get it up tomorrow, which means I shouldn't be too behind. I've only missed 1 week. If I upload tomorrow, I'm back. Yeah, to Thursdays, which is the days I'm supposed to be uploading. And then there's so much going on here that I should easily be able to make a video a week. So I'm gonna go on a run now. Weather looks okay outside actually. And then, yeah, back to the desk. I did just under 5k. I wasn't looking at how far I was going, but it was good. British air is just like different to running in the heat and humidity. And there was a greenery and it was like a nice rugged pathway thing, cycling path. Glad I got that done. Right, I need to be at Menspire by 11, it's 10:15, so better get ready, baby. You know what, I have to say, I've missed the Tesla. Woo! The speed of this is just different. It's the instant torque. Before the Tesla, I had an AMG 63S, and it's a different kind of excitement. It was a GLC 63S. Like the sound, the gear changes, the exhaust, the excitement is something else. But the instant torque and the smoothness, the lack of gear changes, the fact that when you brake, there's no dropping of gears, there's no juddering. You know, the second you put your foot down, you're gone. It's amazing. It's like you're driving a go-kart around. I love it. And when I moved to Dubai, I was like, I'm just gonna get a Tesla again. And everyone was like, you can't have a Tesla in Dubai, there are taxis here, blah, 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 get a proper car. And I thought if there was ever a place to have like a big fat car with a V8, you know, fuel is peanuts, then it's Dubai. And I've enjoyed it, and the car is very fun. But the Tesla's a different kind of fun. And the ability to just put your foot down and you're gone instantly is just sick. But yeah, I'm just going to Menspire. So Menspire is a international salon brand. They're arguably some of the best hairstylists, barbers in the world, the founders. And I first got a haircut there in 2017 in St Albans, which was the first one. And it was just a haircut like I'd never had before. The questions they asked me, the experience, the way the shop smelt, the hand towels, the drink that I was offered, everything about the experience. And a lot of that is fairly standard in hair salons for ladies, but it wasn't fairly standard for men's barbershops. And that was something Menspire invented, like the salon experience for men. And not only that, but the stylists were people that could do a fade and could use a trimmer and a machine, but also use scissors very well, and that's what set them apart. I really wanted to open a shop in Watford after meeting them, and you know, over the next few years I started helping them out with like flyers and social media content and giving them my advice on what they should be doing online and how it should look and feel, and just tidying everything up a little bit. And yeah, over kind of a year or two of just helping them out, we got into the conversation of Watford and how it would work. And we opened in 2020, which was obviously not a good year to open given lockdown and barbers were closed, but we pushed through it, and yeah, it's been fun. It's been a great journey and a great business to be involved in, and I'm sure we'll be doing more with those guys. My brother ended up learning to cut hair in lockdown, so he was managing the shop and taking care of everything, and I was kind of popping in once a week. And I think what attracted me to it was everything I did was so digital and so hypothetical. you put X amount of time in, you might get a result, you might not. And this felt like something physical. It was real. It was, you know, a shop on the high street in my hometown that I could, you know, run ads and see the results, or, you know, do some marketing bits and bobs and see the results. And it's been great. I've learned a lot and it's been fun. And obviously now we're in Dubai, it's difficult to run it. So now we're changing the team around again, putting someone in place that can have a bit more control and say on, you know, the younger stylists coming through, and can do most of the day-to-day decisions without having to call us or one of the partners. And that's been a fun process too. And it's all learning. And I think that's what's important, is every time you do a venture like this, you know, you learn so much and it's fresh, and then you can do it again the second time. Where do I park? That's the question. There was so much I learned throughout that process, working with the builders and the contractors on the design, picking colour schemes, materials, ripping out a shop, dealing with, you know, estate agents and the landlord and contracts. It was all new and it was really fun. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Of course.
Good? Good. Sam's not happy with my haircut. Maybe I'm not happy with it, to be honest. Alright, what are you saying? This has nowhere to go.
It's too short underneath your fringe.
I know, I kept making him cut it down.
I know, I bet you did. It's just been cut out there. You need that. Whatever style you have, it's going to the side. You needed that a little bit. You need that a little bit.
I liked it kind of like messy down, you know? Like,
That's nice, yeah, but
messy
be
down.
realistic. You'll be realistic.
What, as in with what I'm working with?
Not that you're not working on anything good, but like you're saying messy down. When you do what you're saying, it doesn't look very good. Like let's say messy down. Like, in your head, it's like just all curvy. Just that's what it looks like. That's strong and together is what's better for you. Okay.
At that time, I was so alone and so desperate to talk to someone. I needed help. And I remembered you gave me that number of Nick. And I just decided, I don't know why, at that moment, I decided to call that number. And that was about 9 months after you gave it to me.
Yeah.
I spoke to the owner and I said, look, I haven't got any money. And he said, look, I need help in the kitchen. So if you come and help me, I'll help you. And he said, just get yourself on a flight out here tomorrow. And so I did. I flew out to Marbella and I basically worked in the kitchen in return for the treatment that the clients got in like a luxury rehab. And I got myself clean and sober. And then I became head chef of the rehab. And I started going to the meetings, and I'm 2 years clean and sober today. And you know, I always share about this in my meetings, that I look at it, how I got here was I've got 6 angels, and you're one of my angels, Ollie. Because if it wasn't for Alex booking me that hair appointment with you where he paid for me to get the hair thing, and I didn't sit down with you and you didn't give me that number, then it wouldn't have led me to speak to Nick. And it wouldn't have led me out here. So I'm ever so grateful, Ollie, mate, that you're a part of how I've changed my life. And yeah, I just wanted to just show my gratitude to you, mate, for that day.
Bloody hell, mate. Bro, I'm what an amazing phone call, bro.
It's kind of crazy that I've walked down this high street for 30 years. Since I was a kid. I was born here, grew up here, went up and down these streets with my mum in the pram, and then on my own, and then with my mates, and now I've got a business here. And it's actually amazing how many people just stay where they were born and grew up their whole lives. And I actually think there's something nice about that. I don't think everyone needs to necessarily move away and go abroad and live this crazy life. There's beauty in simplicity and a simple life, and just, you know, doing what you know and staying where you know and where your friends are, where your family are. But at the same time, it can drive you mad. My dad always says he hates the fact that he's walked the same streets for 50 years and seen the same faces and the same shops and the same surroundings, and you know, I've obviously left and I'm in a new world, but it still feels nice to come back and just, you know, everything's the same. This tunnel that I'm walking in feels the same as it did when I was 5 years old, coming down here with my mum. The car park's exactly the same. So much can change in your life when you come home and nothing's changed. That's kind of nice because it feels like home, but I think can drive you mad if you haven't changed. You should be changing even if your surroundings aren't, and you should be growing at all times. Every time I park in this Sainsbury's, I get a parking ticket. I can't remember now if I've been here for over 2 hours. Actually, I think I'm okay. No, I definitely have. So, I've got a parking ticket. Fantastic. Just to make sure I pay it. That was crazy. We obviously just went for a catch up to work out what we're gonna do with the shop. Since we left and moved to Dubai, we've lost 2 of our staff. And you know, staff retention is something you can't really control in this industry. It's tough. And you know, one of the guys was with us for 3 years and built an amazing clientele, an amazing business, and grew so much, and we spent years developing him. But he wanted to go out and try his own thing. He's young, he's 20 years old and wants to give it a go, and you know, who can stop him? Brexit has massively affected hiring in the UK because a lot of staff used to come from Europe, and there's a lot of amazing barbers and hairstylists in Europe that wanted to come and work in the UK and work for Menspire, and it's a lot harder for them now that we've left the EU. So we're dealing with that, and we spoke about community and going online and where the future of brands are for male grooming and male wellness, and then we spoke about kind of therapy and counselling and how for a lot of men sitting in that barber chair is the only time they talk, and you can open up with the person who's cutting your hair and you have a good catch up, and you know, it's not a family member and it's not necessarily even a friend, it's a stranger that you can just vent to, and no matter what, you always leave feeling better than when you got there because your hair looks good and you feel fresh and you look sick. And then weirdly, Ollie had a phone call from a stranger, and he was like, I've got 4 missed calls from this guy in Spain, or this number in Spain. This is gonna be jokes. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna film it and call back. So I put my camera on, and it was honestly one of the most amazing phone calls I've ever heard in my life. And it was basically a guy that had sat in his chair 2 years ago that was suffering from addiction, and his mum had just died and he was in a really bad way. And Ollie gave him a number of a guy who owned a rehab and said, look, if you ever need help, call this number. And the guy basically told his story, and it was mad. Ollie started crying, I was like getting emotional, and it was just a reminder that like you don't know how far kindness can go, and you don't know, you know, how much you're helping someone. And all he did was say, yeah, cool, I'll give him a haircut. You know, if this guy's in a bad way, he's going through a lot, I'll give him a trim, I'll chat to him. So we're back to the drawing boards for the salon, trying to find a stylist to come in and extend the team, because in July we're going to be down to 1. Another one of our stylists is moving to Canada. Again, something we can't control. It just happens. People do stuff, right? People want to move. People want to try something new. People want to grow. So we're not necessarily losing staff to other salons. We're losing staff to people that want to go out and do their own thing, or they're moving country, or going back home, or whatever. So in July, we're going to be down to 1 stylist again. So I think my brother's going to come back for a bit. I'm going to be in the UK for 3 weeks in the summer, and we need to rebuild the business from the ground up and then go back to Dubai.